Back at it safe with Saylee. Cheer! Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is doing great. Hold on, breathing it. Hold on, freedom, peace, and clarity. And Mr. Saylee, counselor. Now, what's going on, everyone? Doing the safe with Saylee. I come on here for about 30 minutes. I'm like, man, let me go ahead. I want to get charged up. Let me drop something for you all. There's always something to bring in. One of the most powerful things, I had aquatic therapy today. That was very exciting and very therapeutic as well too. I like the individuals that conducted, and I would really recommend that for anyone, really everyone. I mean, you don't have to be dealing with, MS, or you don't have to be dealing with a medical situation. Just to get in that pool, move around, give yourself something to enjoy. Now, if you don't like water and all that, then don't do it. But if it's something you want to try out, please go ahead and try that out. Now, I'm very excited because this coming up Monday, it is Cinco de Mayo. But man, I'm hoping that it still goes through. Having my first guest on the Safe Space Safe Show, man, that's gonna be so exciting. I'm excited for what that can bring, for me, and continuing to grow this, just bringing elevation. I want to keep doing that for individuals, and more importantly for myself. Individuals can grab on to that and move up forward. But the reason for this thing is because it's like, all right, I want to bring some elevation. I want individuals to know, hey, man, you do have value. I mean, individuals get on. I hear them. I'm watching. I'm on the social media streets or whatever. Yeah, I'm seeing in the real streets too. I'm seeing what's going on, and people are not really speaking about positivity on that end. But we got to make sure that I want to be able to bring individuals something that they may not get anywhere else online. Whether you on Twitter or you on Facebook, or you don't even get this in your regular life. Sometimes you just need to have that, have a space, but also you need also for this on Friday, you just need to have an ability to ask some questions on that end too. So really on these Fridays, I'm doing some quick Q&As as well, talking about different things, the week. It was kind of really good. This aquatic therapy session, man, I want to leave with that because that started at 8 this morning, and for me, it was something that was very powerful, something that I was always doing, I would say, before, but something that happened, and I didn't want to get into it before. But it's something that I feel is very powerful. Individuals should go ahead and try that. Whether it's through insurance or however, sign up through the YMCA. I may end up going through the YMCA. For the next time, I may end up going through the YMCA. Just to do with that, just get in that water. Like I said, man, I am excited for this coming up Monday, Cinco de Mayo, but having the first guest from the Safe Space Safe Show, I don't want to talk too much about that because I'm not gonna have more than enough time, to speak on there. What's going on is everybody joining in too. But I want to do this. There's a few things I do want to discuss and speak on that part. I'm always going to hear, you look at my page, it's always about expressing self-love. And having individuals to know that, hey, imagine if there was no one like you on the planet. Don't keep that to yourself. Spread that out. What's going on to anyone, individuals in? Spread that out. Spread out who you are, your uniqueness. And it's not only online. I'm talking about out there in person. Go out and about. Individuals be at home all the time. Hey, man, hey. I know things are not as safe as, before, whatever. Individuals need to know, like, all right, man, I need to actually get outside. Let me get some sunlight. I remember even for my counseling sessions, I want to start doing them outside as well, too. Again, Even with I'm on Zoom, all this digital, all this technology. But I remember going to this one park. Guys, you know I'm in LA. I remember going to this one park, and I mean, it was beautiful. Just having a class outside, that's something that's amazing. I wanted to do one at a beach as well, too. I know summertime is getting there. It's getting closer. I want to make sure that I'm able to do it on the beach as well, too. I ain't gonna lie. I'm in a very, very powerful position just because I can do that. Some people, they can't work outside. They got to work inside, or they got to be in some vehicle, or they got to be in some AC a building. I mean, you got to be appreciative for what you have and also going after what you want. Guys, when I make any of these videos, whether it's a Safe with Saylee or that Safe Space Saylee, this one is just, I'm coming to you guys. You guys see the bonnet on. This one, I'm just coming to you guys when we're freely talking. It's just a conversation. I remember I was answering some questions from some individuals that wanted some answers earlier. It's about counseling. Because everyone's saying therapist. I'm going to say this to you guys again. I'm going to always say this for the rest of my life. You got poor. You got average. You got good. You got great. And then you have the best. That's in any category, any type of individual, human, police officer, doctor, lawyer, is their friend too. What level do you want to be at? I can talk about this for the rest of this life. What level you actually really want to be at? What sacrifices am I willing to do? Am I willing to educate myself? I'm not talking about the general, going to school. Because there are people who be going to school and they get out and they don't have all the information. They don't have all the knowledge. Sometimes like, dang, man, I spent 12 years in school, but I don't feel fulfilled. Of course you don't. You didn't follow your dreams. You didn't fail. You didn't go after something like, dang, man, let me at least try this out. Let me mess up in it as well too. It's like when I was doing the music, man, I didn't really know. It's like, hey man, I wanted to try it out. Let me see it. And I ended up finding something that I could never put down. So hey man, me and my big brother just dropped a song. It's called Your Experience. Man, that one right there, I know it shifted the planet already. I know it has. I've seen it. My homeboy in Cameroon, he was like, man, I heard it. I didn't even send it to him. Hey, man, but that was a beautiful situation. Like, man, they listened to you all the way in Cameroon and you ain't even send them the song? It's beautiful stuff. It's just like when I was counseling I had a client who was out of the country. I think he was in India. I believe he was in India. I forgot. I don't think it was Rishikesh or Mumbai. I don't know what city he was in. But he was in India. And thankfully we had the Zoom that was available for him. He was able to still do the counseling, in another country. But he was just talking to me about how he was still struggling, with not only with loving and stuff. It's like, I understand people take different substances because they're not comfortable with who they actually are. This is something that we have going on around the planet. If you're not comfortable with who you are, you have to look into that. Do some investigating. Investigate even on yourself. Think, why is this? Now, sometimes I don't get that much time with some of these clients. So sometimes it's like, man, you got some childhood things that maybe you got to resolve. I don't want to just say everyone just grew up to childhood. You got to revisit it on that end. No, but most people it is. Like, man, your childhood was terrible, man. It was. And you're afraid to revisit it. So I'm going to just say it like this. You're using a substance. We could say the drinking, but there's a lot of other things. You're using the drink to mask that situation. You're afraid to deal with reality. Look at here in this country here. You got the happy hour, the alcohol. Yeah. hey, I'm not saying I'm not going to indulge a little bit, but let's be real. You got to be real with yourself. There's individuals that are not dealing with let's say their issues. I'm going to say it like that. You're not dealing with your issues. And then, you want to get into a relationship with somebody, or, or you want to, let's say, take on a new job, a new career on that end. But it's like, dang, let me handle ground zero first. Let me take care of what I got, what I have going on. What's going on to everybody joining on that end? Shout out, yeah. What's going on? So I want to let everybody know on that end. So we're talking about not only dealing with your own issues. Now this is just safe for Saylee. We got some. We know we're talking on some things on this end. The meat and potatoes is the Safe Space Saylee show. You guys can see some clips on there, but I want to talk about what's coming up as well too. I got my boy P. He's coming up on the show, and he's dealing with everyone on the planet. There is no one that's perfect here. So everyone is dealing with something. So I need individuals not to feel ashamed of what they got going on. Stop comparing yourself to somebody else, because they'll never be you. You may have someone never understand you. To me, I love it. It increases and expands my mysteriousness. It's like, dang, I have somebody on this world that I can't figure out. Dang, no one can actually figure me out. Yes. And also this is something too. You gotta at least learn you. Find out some more on you. Shout out to everybody joining in. Find out more about you. And I remember in households here, even in America too, they talk, oh man, we shouldn't speak about these things. Don't talk about these things. No, talk about it. Because if you don't talk about it, then you're bleeding on the children that you have, or even the siblings, or any family member that's younger coming up, even a stranger too. Like the position that I'm in as a counselor, I feel like I got the world. If I don't behave a certain way, it will impact the world negatively. And I know it's some individuals that are counselors, they're at that poor level that I was talking about. And you got to understand, they're pumping out individuals, not really pumping out, but they're giving individuals a lack of actually who they even are. But I'm hoping individuals can see them sometimes and say, hey man, sometimes the individuals show you what not to do. Now you got to be advanced. Be real. To go out and about and understand and be around somebody and say, hey man, this is somebody I should not be around, but I can learn from this person to not be like them. That's something that's good. So what I'm saying, you may have somebody who's in a position, let's say, a doctor on that end. Let's go there, because everybody placed them high up. I know they do. Let's say a doctor. And they are not at a level, let's say, to understand who you are on the health end. So they may be giving you, let's say, some advice, whether it's medical advice or just however. Remember, the doctor isn't feeling your body, what you're going through. It never will. He's just looking at some of the things you're telling him, some of the symptoms, maybe look at your chart, your blood work. But at the end of the day, you have to go home and deal with your own situation. That's like in life here. We can go across social media, see all these people talking about all these things. But when are you going to get out there and do it yourself? Learn more and grow more on your end. When can you actually do that? You got to take this time now. I know individuals talking about May. May is for abundance. May gonna be like just like April for you if you're not doing anything with it. Like, man, I want things to just miraculously happen magically, but you ain't putting in no work. No, it's not gonna happen. So yeah, I'm going to for the rest of my time here. I'm talking about on Earth. I'm gonna do what I want to do. You know, and I'm very comfortable with doing that. I wish more people would. I love, listen, when you meet somebody and they're just unapologetically them, it is refreshing. I'll be real. So sometimes I be like, sometimes meeting somebody, I'm like, dang, this person is, strange. But they love it. They love their strange. It's like that. You gotta love your strangeness or your uniqueness. What's going on to everybody coming in? Yeah, hold on. The interesting rose. Yeah. Hold on. Come on, y'all. What they said, the flash go 3 interests in a row to this live. Send it in. Send a rose in. I think that, what is it, 1 penny? Y'all send a penny in to the boy. Please do that. They got this goal. Send a penny in. Goodness gracious. But yeah. And so that's where we're at. And they just distracted me on that end. But yeah, that's where we're at with being strangely or uniquely you. This is one of the most powerful things on the planet. I'll be real with you. We're in an age right now, individuals are trying to get you to be like them. Hey, no, be in my crew. Be like this. Be like that. Imagine growing up in a household and individuals are telling you what to do. Hey, man, you got to do this. If you're not like that, you're not going to be liked by the world. Or you're not even going to be liked in this household. See, the way how I moved, even at a young age and even till now, I moved how I wanted to. Now, did I make some mistakes? Yeah. I made some wrong decisions. I did. But I not only learned from it, it made me who I am today. And it's the person that I love. So it came to a point to where it's like, all right, I've built up this individual to a level where now he can't be broken. Now, what did that take? That took trusting and gambling on myself. It's like, man, I can speak with anybody, whether it's I remember this where I went to the wellness center, Don Canap Wellness Center with Rancho. I met the CEO too, and I didn't even know she was. But after I found out she was the CEO, like, all right, man, you still the same. You still, you a human. Any human on this planet, president or you homeless, I can talk to you. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Good morning. What's up? It's just like I was telling my boy too. We're gonna talk about the ladies too. I can't wait. I gotta have a relationship month. Because I know there's so many people out there, they were like, oh man, how do I do this with her, do this? Speaking, just saying hello. People are like, oh man, that's nothing. No, just saying hello. How are you doing? Do you know that's an icebreaker, man? People be looking at researching, how do I break the ice? Bro, ask them how they're doing. What's going on? How's your day? What you got planned for the day? I know people now, they don't want you in their business and different things. But no. That's the thing. I got to a point, or I'm at a point where even right now, there's women that I can say, hey, what's going on? Or good morning, or hello. And they be silent. Hey, I got to keep going with what I'm doing. I can't stay there. I mean, you didn't speak or you didn't. No. And I know that you heard me. No, I can't do that. No. So one thing, man, I need everyone to please, when you're seeing this, whether it's now on the live or later on the replay when I share this on Facebook or IG, I'll go listen to that Your Experience. Man, that's one I've been saying this, one of the hottest songs on the planet really right now. Because the thing is, there's a chart on my page at the top of it is freedom. That song right there, it goes and shows you that that's everybody on the planet, your experience. There are no two individuals that will have the same experience on this earth. And I challenge you. Because no two people are seeing things the same. So it's a very unique situation to where I was looking at, welcome to everybody to come in. It was a unique situation, man, when I made that, with my brother Yokata, and it was going through, I was going through a real tough situation where it's like, dang, man, you feeling like, no one likes you, you feeling like you're not the same, you're really just so different. And it was really challenging because it's like, I'm like no one else around me. And that stuff can be real tough. It's like, but I had to realize too, like, no, you're not supposed to be like anyone else. So you move into a mode of acceptance. When somebody can get to that level of acceptance, they become the unstoppable and the unbreakable. And when you really look at yourself, when you trust in your experience, there was something I was showing my clients earlier. It was called authentic success. There was a lady, she was talking about, what does success mean to you? And this is everybody on the planet. See, when I'm speaking things, it ain't just for, I know it's for me, so I know it's for everybody else. But I know everyone's not looking at that. They're like, oh man, I want to look at some other things or this money or whatever. That's cool too. But I remember, even now when I see the bank account, it goes up, let's say 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, or it goes to zero. I'm like, dang, I really don't shift emotionally. I'm like, dang, okay, the money's there is good, but I don't feel any, better on that end. And then I remember being homeless. I'm talking about sleeping on the pavement. I remember there. And I tell my boy P, this was going to come on with the Safe Space Saylee show, Monday. But I remember I was like, dang. And I think about it too. Why did I enjoy that moment so much? It's because you can still be judged at that point, but it comes to an area you have nothing to offer anyone. But then people still want to be around you, or they still want to. That's the real family. I feel like, dang, you can find your family, because it's like when you don't have anything to offer anyone, and then you still loved. Man, that brings extreme joy. Because now you don't have to act around anyone. You're like, oh man, I could really truly be myself. Because I don't really have nothing, to offer to this person or to this group on this end. They're really accepting me. They know that I'm going through a tough time. And they're like, shoot, man, okay. We've been through it, or even if we haven't, we still accept you on that part. We still accept you. And, that's a heavenly feel. It's very joyous to know that, dang, I can't even offer somebody nothing but food or even $1, but I'm still being accepted. Guys, I pray that everyone experiences something so pure, that way, to where it comes to a point where it's like, all right, I'm truly accepted for who I am, not what I can bring to somebody. You feel loved. And this is why this self-love is so important. It taught me that. Not even ever to help others, but it's like, dang, man, I'm in a tough position. I really don't know what to do. I can't look left. I can't look. And I'm not going backwards. I know what I don't want to deal with. I'm not going to go there. And sometimes it takes like, hey, man, being in the street, it's like, all right, man, you know what? let me learn some things about myself. Maybe I didn't know. We're always learning. But let me learn something a little bit more about myself. Let me not, as one of my, I'll just say, I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to take a permanent vacation. I mean, I'm willing. I already told myself and I sold to myself, I'm like, I'm never giving up on self. I don't care what happens. And I mean, is homelessness the worst thing on the planet? No, I don't think it is. I don't really feel it is, but it's like, shoot, if I get to a position when you at a low spot, like, dang, man, it's raining and you don't have no shelter, or you in a tent or something like that. I mean, one of the worst feelings, I think I talked about this before, was I think I went to an appointment. I was coming back home. I was actually going, I just registered for a shelter on that end. And it was raining, in LA. It never really rained. I didn't have any umbrella. And I was waiting on the bus. I was going to a bus stop, and I'm like, and it was real tough. It's just like, dang, I don't have no umbrella. It's raining down on me. It's like, dang, man, I really don't have nowhere to go either. And it was a real tough situation, because when all you have to depend on is you really show yourself like, oh man, okay, all I have is me in this situation. I can make it through. Or can I? Am I going to give up? Or am I going to keep going? I've seen, man, you see how many people I've seen in the street that have abandoned themselves. I see it. I've seen it, see it, and will continue to see it, I know. But you have to look within yourself to realize, like, hey, man, all right, I'm not going to abandon me. I have to keep fighting. And man, I'm in it right now. I know how it feels not to give up on self. So this is a message too. Never give up on yourself. I want to spread that message out, because I don't care if it takes you 5 years to get your breakthrough. Go into the trenches, get it, lock in, or even, cry too, or feel bad, but always tell yourself this: it's not gonna last forever. That's one of the most powerful comments or statements right there. It's not going to last forever. You think that, but it's just, I remember I was almost at this time. I remember meeting this guy. I'm gonna give you guys a real, it's not really my secret, but this is something that'll change your life, but you can use this for the rest of your life. So now look, I met this guy. We was on the bus. I think I was going to Santa Monica. I was almost at this time. And he was like, you gotta remain neutral. And sometimes it's tough for me on this end. It is tough. But I'm looking to master. He's like, you gotta remain neutral. So it's like, when things happen good to you, don't get all too excited. Like, yeah, this. Hold on. Look at that. Time to take a break. I was like, yeah. So don't get too excited. He's like, yeah, this. I'm on 10. So let's use 10, 0, and then negative 10. So it's like something good happens. Don't go to that positive 10, because that pendulum, how individuals say, it'll swing back down. You done felt so good, but then it has a bounce back effect to where it's like you could go into a mode of depression because you pushed yourself into this high extreme. Like, oh, I feel good. I feel great. But you can't maintain that. So you pull right back down into a negative state. Like, dang, I was so negative on that part. I mean, I was so positive, but then I pulled back into a negative end. And sometimes, let's say you get to that true negative, let's say to -7, I'll say, and you really can't pull yourself back up. This is why the mindset, even at the end, you had a -7, it's like, whoa. But thanks for the follow, Jose, on that end too. Thanks for the follow on that end. Divine Light, what's going on? Thanks for that. So look, when you pull yourself down, you get pulled down. Let's say you had a -7, get down. And it's like, wow. This is why some individuals say, man, you know what? I need to take that permanent vacation. I'm not going to say it like that, but it's like, man, I've gotten to that level at that -7, and I can't rise up out of here. I'm speaking on something powerful. This is why don't get too excited. I don't care if you win the lottery. Don't get too high. Don't get too excited. So the guy was telling me to stay neutral, and I'm still working on this. I remember this happened when I went to Atlanta, and I missed my flight. You know, it seemed like my mom was, you know, she was, I guess, looking at me like, is he gonna triple on that end? I remained neutral. I was unaffected because I already knew what the worst can't even happen anymore. It can't even happen. So it's like, let me stay at that neutral mode, that neutral moment. Dang, won lottery. I remember we still neutral. Dang, man, you know, someone that's real close to me that just passed. Dang, remain in neutral. I have to keep calm because it's like the world. I think that resonance. If we think about that frequency, I think the Earth is at. I think it's like at 7.83, and staying at that level, you got to remain at that calmness level, regardless of what happens to you on that end, to that 7. You know, or to that 0. We're using the -10, the 0, and then the +10. I got a chart that's on my page. But staying in that mode, that is a real game changer. So you got to even look at that, like when you get in a relationship or something like that too. Dang, the heartbreak, you go down into -8 or something like, dang, I really love this person, they did me wrong. Versus, dang, okay, what can I learn about this situation? This person just left my life. Now, I'm not saying we're not robots. I'm not saying that. But you got to work on yourself to get to that level. I mastered myself, and I'm still mastering. You know? And I know it's tough when you have something bad happen. You got everybody around you saying, man, you should be sad. You should be hurt. You should be negative about that. But it's like, hold on, I'm not there anymore. Now I have to look for how can I use it. I need everyone to look at this situation, whether you're seeing it now in live or later too. How can you use your situations, whether negative or positive, for your benefit or to keep you neutral? You know, keep you at that certain state. Right. I like that everything passes. Change happens all the time through the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yes, it does. Very much so. You know, but see, that's the thing. So you see, you have change is the constant right there. So if everything, I remember I was in this philosophy class one time, and you know he was talking about, you know, and I thought about creating this movie, and it was called The Flux. Now, I haven't even spoken on this or even thought about it till you said something divine, like, you know, so it's like, yeah, that fluctuation. If you're in a state of constant change, then it's like, all right, if I know that, how can I then respond to that? At first, knowing it's like, all right, I'm always going to be changing. But there's this guy that I listen to, and he's I call him an advisor. His name Mooji, Mooji, and it's like being the observer. So almost like being at the background of who you are. Now this is some high stuff. We're going up now. So now really observing who you are, all of your experiences, but being unaffected by that change. Divine light. We talk. I'm thankful for you because you're bringing that in. Now, if you can get to a mode where you can view that, when you can view that state, it's like, hold on, this stuff is changing. But how he talks about it, he's the change list. So it's not the person is changing, but the observer, it never changes. So if you can identify with that, it's like, whoa. So I'm watching these things happen, or late for my flight, or I missed the flight. Dang, someone just stole $1,000. Dang, I mean, somebody close to me just passed. Dang, I won the million. But you're able to observe that situation from the he calls it the observer, but let's say from the background or backstage. Let's say we had we're at a show and you backstage, you excited, but you like, okay, yeah, I'm backstage. I see everything that's going on, but not to get affected by that. Divine, like, very powerful. So it's something that the world, I don't think, I don't feel the world is, it's something that the world may not ever get, but it is something that they can strive to learn. Because right there, that kills all of your issues right then and there. I'm not saying soon as you know of it, but after you work on it, it's like, hey, let me see if I can observe this situation. And it happens every day. So you always have the opportunity. Good things, bad things, work, school, children, family, money. Just go into your banking app. Like, dang, imagine that my whole life savings was taken away. Can that break me? I talked about being, homeless earlier. And that was one of the biggest tests that I've ever had. But it showed me, it's like, dang. You had everybody, abandon you, but you didn't abandon you. But you didn't let it throw you into a mode of, let's say, of ultimate, let's say, freedom or regret or or disgust or anger. No. You were able to see it and use it as a situation to keep you, let's say, even grounded on that end. So that was one of the most powerful lessons, even on that part right there. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. So, guys, I really appreciate everyone, all the comments, and, everyone coming by through. But, guys, these are some of the things that when we're going through these situations and you realize, like, hey, all right, I have an area that I want to be. I want to be calm. I want to be, pure. I want to be true to myself. The most powerful thing that I can tell individuals is to, like, hey, accept who you are. I don't care who is left out of your life, who comes into it. But can you accept you? On that part. That's one of the powerful things. That's self-love. And that's why if you go to my page, I'm saying, like, expressing this self-love. Not just learning about it, seeing it in a book. No, but experiencing it, going through it. Because I'll be honest, there's a lot of therapists, counselors doing this, and they don't deal with that. There's this term. Most of the therapists that I speak with, there's a term that's called countertransference. Usually in the roles end up flipping. For me, they end up telling me about what they're doing. They're supposed to be there to help me, but it ends up flipping because when you become a spacious individual, when you have learned through your own situations, this is why I actually love my difficulties more than the positive things that have happened in my life. Now, when you can get to that mode, you can get to that area where it's like, hold on, wait. I can actually love my difficulties because it's training me. It really shows you, do you have what it takes to be the individual that you say you want to be? Right there, hold on. Oh, sorry, I was trying to scroll on the thing. But yeah, are you really able to be that individual that you say you want to be? I'm not talking about having the riches on that day, but it's like what I was saying. What that guy had told me about being neutral. Be neutral on that mode. Can you stay calm and at ease within what you have. I'm talking about right now, presently. You can be feeling, down. There's always more, but then you got to understand there's always less too. So understanding that is one of the most powerful things that we can do as humans on this earth. I'm watching this one show, and it's called, it's on Apple TV. It's called Extrapolations. I think it was like 30 years into the future, and climate has changed. The world is, it seems like it's going to, it's gone downhill. The air is not clean. I'm seeing them selling air. It's like that one, I think that one movie, Horton Hears a Who, or that on that by Dr. Seuss. But they're actually selling air. So now imagine that. God, this is something really right quickly. I'm thinking about it. Now remember, we're buying water. I'm in LA. We can't, I can't drink out of the faucet. I can't even cook, with the water that I have. No, I use the bottled water. Now just imagine that, but on the air a moment. Like, dang, I'm in a city. I can't even take a fresh breath of air. I gotta buy it, or I have to, to kind of purchase it on that end. So where are we going? And I'm I'm pushing my time. I'm about to get up out of here in a bit. Man, I really appreciate all you guys who came and showed love with me on that end. I appreciate that. I'm going to, with the Safe Space Safety Show that's every Monday. This one, Safe for Saylee, I really just like to bring in some real situations that I'm dealing with, that I know people on the planet are dealing with. I know it. Friday night, it's like, dang, man. Am I happy with who I am, with what I'm doing? But I want individuals to think about this. I want to bring this back in. There was a TED Talk. I advise everyone to go look up some TED Talks. There was this one, she was talking about authentic success. And this goes also too in with loving yourself. Finding out what you actually like. What actually works for you. What can make you feel, like, all right, I'm at a level where I like to do this thing. So it's not anyone telling me this, but I'm actually chose this task, or this, this option for myself. Now remember, all of us as children, or maybe some of us as children, we had to go through a certain situation where, do what your parents say, say on that end. Yeah, the parents say that, but now it's like you're out in the world. You're in the world now. So now you make your own decisions now. So on that end, very, very powerful. So you have to understand, have I disconnected from that childhood version of myself? Now I'm making decisions for myself. And you can also look at it too. Am I making certain decisions for myself that work for me, or work for what my parent might have thought for me? That's another way of loving for self. Okay, I'm feeling you very kind. Oh, yes. Thank you so much on that end. Divine light. Let's see this. Oh, yeah. A lot of things. Very purposeful. I'm telling you. No coincidence. You're good. No coincidences at all. We have to understand, whether it's for, a second, or if it's for a minute, 5 minutes, an hour, however, you got to take in the information, how it comes. Man, there's so, divine light, everyone, there's so much information out there right now. This is, individuals say the information age. So what am I going to what can I pull away? It can get kind of confusing. It can really get kind of confusing. It's like, dang, there's so much. Now you find yourself, man, you on 12 hours or however long on YouTube trying to find out something. I'm trying to figure something out. But have you spent that time with you, though? There's always going to be individuals talking different things. But can you really lock in to who you are? It's one of the most powerful things. One of the most powerful things. No, you're very welcome on that. You're very welcome. On that part. And I do what I do even for this is for everything that I'm doing now is for the people. As a counselor, I just feel I've already helped out more than enough. I feel like I'm on a bonus mission now. It's like, all right, I have to release what I have, my essence. I have to release that. Because if not, then I'm like, then that goes into some regret. Like, dang, man, I had this information. I wish I had somebody to share it with. Because you got to understand, there were sometimes videos. Think about this. What about the videos that were made 10 years ago? I remember seeing certain lectures of individuals. They made it 10 years ago. But it resonated for me right now. Now, maybe they were thinking about, oh, man, if somebody's seen this right then and there, were they aware that somebody would see it 10 years later and would see, like, dang, they would get, let's say, awakened, or they would get their, it would resonate with them so much to catapult them into their next level or understanding themselves a little bit more? Yes, can you work better? Yes. Thank you so much. Keep going and never stop. I love it. I love it so much. And so, I just want to, not only to encourage individuals to really be, who they are too. That's one of the most, I'm saying the most powerful thing. Expressing that self-love. We got real deep when we were talking about the observer. But that self-love is the first step to even being able to get to that observer, where you're unaffected by what happens in life. I'm not saying you're becoming a robot, like, yeah, oh man, somebody passed away, you're not sad at that situation. No, but it's looking at yourself like, hey, how can I progress throughout this life? How can I effortlessly, but not only effortlessly, how can I always be evolving? I want to be ever evolving. This is the thing that I want to share with individuals. I want to become ever evolving. So you're not just, it's not about an age thing. My youngest client, 18, oldest by 85. So it's not an age thing. You have to make sure you're at a position where you're evolving, you're growing at some sort of level. It may be just even expressing. It's like, dang, hold on, bring your truth to the world. Imagine if you were let's say your own existence was a chain reaction. You were supposed to find you, understand you, so that somebody else could be able to understand them. It's like, dang, I really feel seen. And then somebody able to say, like, oh man, I really feel, whole. I really feel good. I met this individual and they're really being so true. I didn't think that people like this existed. I've heard people say that for like, hold on, wait. Everybody on earth isn't the same. Please, everybody on earth isn't the same. So you got to make sure. I'm gonna probably one more point. Then I'm gonna get out of here. But I want to make sure of this individual saying, because I'm gonna post this on the YouTube and on Facebook as well. So I'm gonna post this. But you got to make sure that you're always being you. Always expressing yourself. Don't play small. And I know sometimes you may have 1,000. I've been in some sessions with myself and I'm saying certain things. I could be talking to the whole class, but then the client says one thing, and then everybody's like, oh. I'm like, I've been saying that. So you got to understand individuals sometimes have that selective hearing too. So you have to realize that as well too with yourself. Like you may have somebody that has said something, whether it's from a parent or from a teacher, they might have said something to you, but it just didn't register until somebody else. It's not even have to be with somebody you trusted. It's just somebody else. Like, dang, wait, what I heard. Now, there's certain things that people, like my mom, they say with me, or individuals that I learn, they say things, and there's certain things they stick with me. Certain things don't. What they say, one ear out the other. Some things, stay on that part. Welcome to everybody coming in. What's up? But yeah, so we're about to get out of here real soon, though. But I want to make sure this. If you have the opportunity to express exactly who you are, you have to make sure that you do just that. Because you have to look at it and say, like, all right, man, I'm in a position now. Why am I even alive? Why am I even on the planet? Don't you think it's, to express who you are, not to really be like anyone else, but to express exactly who you are on that part. That's one of the things that, let's say you're being that gift to the planet itself. Let's say I want to say it like this. Let's say the earth is beckoning and calling and begging, like, please be you. I need you. I need you to be you, please. Let's say the earth is begging. The earth is begging, like, dang, I want this person to just express. But you playing back. Like, dang, man, I don't really believe in myself as much. I'm not that serious on that part. Don't you feel you're enough? Don't you feel you're enough? You have what it takes. To be on that end. Thanks for the Divine Light Council. Oh yeah, consulting. Yes. Oh yeah, please PM me. Please send me that first message. We definitely have to. Who knows? Maybe we collaborate on some things, and there's always so much things to do. There's more than enough. Look at the world that we're on. Look at the planet. They need individuals to link and connect and spread more, let's say, self-love. Imagine individuals getting together. It's like, whoa. What if we already knew, I'm not saying, let's say we knew each other already. It's like, dang, hold on. This is why I remember working at Levi's. I'm going to say this last story, didn't get out there. I remember working at Levi's. Now, I'm not really, I do love sales. Sales is good, but everyone that came into the store, they felt like family. So individuals kind of felt like they would always say, oh man, we're bringing you, you're just so good with people, you're just so good with people. Because these individuals that were coming around, they were really family. It wasn't just oh man, he's working some kind of sales gimmick. No, I really felt that way. So it got to a point, individuals, they were kind of tipping me on that end. You're not supposed to accept it, but they would tip me on that end. And they actually felt bad if they didn't buy anything. Now, I was not trying to make anyone feel bad, but it was just like, it's like, hold on, I don't even know this person, and they treated me with so much love. Now, do you think that having that ability, that can change the world? So let's change the world as we at it. I'm out of here. We out of here like last year. I appreciate everybody joining. Divine Light, please person message me, and hopefully that you see it on that end. I'll be able to follow you back, and we can do things. Let's spread this. Let's spread this. Let's spread this stuff. Let's spread it. Hear this. Yes. Thank you. Likewise. Be safe as well. Be safe. All right, guys. Take care. Till next time. Safe with Saylee. Peace.